CEO took her mute daughter to the playground, froze when a single dad made her speak first time. It was supposed to be just another quiet afternoon, another attempt at pretending everything was fine. Madeline Carter, one of New York's youngest and most admired CEOs, sat stiffly on a park bench, her designer sunglasses hiding eyes that had long forgotten how to rest. Her phone buzzed with back-to-back notifications, board approvals, investor meetings, a contract in Singapore, but her attention wasn't on any of them. It was on the little girl beside her, sitting silently in the sandbox, tracing shapes with a plastic shovel. Emma, 5 years old. Brown curls, pale cheeks, and eyes too still for her age. She hadn't spoken a single word in nearly 2 years. Doctors called it selective mutism, a trauma response. Madeline called it her greatest failure. Chapter 1, The Playground. The autumn sun dipped low, brushing the sky with orange light as children's laughter filled the air, shrieks, giggles, chaos. But Emma stayed apart, building a small sand tower alone, her movements methodical, almost robotic. Madeline's chest tightened. "Just one word," she whispered under her breath. "Please, baby. Just one." She didn't notice the man and the boy who had just entered the park until a stray soccer ball rolled to Emma's feet. A small voice called, "Sorry. Could you kick it back?" Emma froze. Before Madeline could intervene, a tall man jogged over, rugged, with an easy smile that didn't belong to someone who looked that tired. His flannel shirt sleeves were rolled up, showing strong forearms dusted with flour. "Hey there," he said kindly, crouching down to Emma's level. "My teammate got a little wild. Mind if I borrow the ball back?" Emma just stared wide-eyed, silent. The man didn't rush her. He simply smiled again and said softly, "That's okay. I'll trade you a secret for it. Want to know something about my son over there?" Emma blinked, curious despite herself. "He thinks he's a superhero. But between us." He leaned closer, whispering theatrically, "He still gets scared of thunder." For the first time in years, Emma's lips twitched just barely. A smile. The man's grin widened. "Ah, see, that's the kind of magic I needed today." Chapter 2, The Single Dad. Madeline finally stood, clearing her throat. "Thank you for entertaining her. She doesn't talk much." The man straightened up. "No problem. I'm Liam Hayes." He pointed toward the boy waving from across the field. "That's my son, Jack. He's 6, full of questions, and allergic to silence." Madeline managed a polite smile. "Madeline. This is Emma." Liam glanced down at the little girl again. "She's got a gentle soul. You can see it right away." Something about his tone, warm, unhurried, utterly genuine, made Madeline's walls soften a little. Most people either pitied or prodded. Liam simply noticed. They ended up talking longer than she expected. About the park. About parenting. About how exhausting it was pretending you had everything together. When Emma reached up, tugging Madeline's sleeve, it startled her. She was pointing toward Jack, who was holding out a toy dinosaur. "Go ahead," Liam said, encouragingly. "Jack loves to share, even when he shouldn't." Emma hesitated, then slowly walked over. The two kids sat together in the sandbox quietly at first, then gradually, with gestures and giggles, began to play. Madeline hadn't seen her daughter laugh like that in years. Chapter 3, Cracks in the Armor. Days turned into weeks. And somehow, without planning it, the playground became their ritual. Madeline would bring Emma after work, and Liam and Jack would already be there, usually with a picnic basket and a ridiculous story. Liam was a baker, she learned. Owned a small shop called Rise and Shine Bakery 2 blocks away. Best cinnamon rolls in the city, he claimed. And I'll prove it if you ever stop being scared of carbs. Madeline found herself laughing genuinely more often than she thought possible. But it wasn't just laughter. It was the small, quiet ways he noticed things. Like how Emma's eyes darted to every dog in the park, even though she never approached them. Or how Madeline's hand trembled slightly when she read work emails. He didn't ask questions. He just showed up. One evening, as they packed up to leave, Emma reached out to Jack and whispered so softly it was almost lost in the breeze. "Bye." Madeline froze. Her breath caught in her throat. Liam heard it too. His eyes widened. Jack just grinned and shouted, "She talked. Dad, she talked." Tears burned in Madeline's eyes as she knelt and hugged Emma tightly. It wasn't a full sentence. It wasn't even loud. But it was a miracle. Chapter 4, The Past That Broke Them. The next day, Madeline showed up early. She brought muffins from Liam's bakery, though she hadn't told him she'd stopped by. The cashier mentioned something offhand that made her heart twist. Liam worked nights too. Delivery shifts. 2 jobs. Single dad. Widowed. His wife, Anna, had died 3 years ago in a car accident hit and run, never solved. Madeline sat on the same park bench that had become their spot and realized something painful. She'd spent years believing vulnerability was weakness. But here was a man who had lost everything and still found joy in giving it away. When Liam arrived, she couldn't help blurting, "You didn't tell me." He frowned. "Tell you what? That you barely sleep. That you do all this alone." He shrugged. "So do you." That silence between them, raw, honest, unguarded, felt heavier than anything she'd felt in a boardroom. Chapter 5, The Storm. A week later, the sky opened up without warning. Thunder cracked, children screamed, and parents rushed to gather belongings. Emma, terrified, ran straight into the rain, toward the swings. Madeline's heart stopped. Emma. But before she could move, Liam was already there. He scooped Emma up, shielding her with his jacket, whispering something soft against her ear. Madeline ran to them trembling, drenched, and what she saw stopped her cold. Emma was crying, and talking. "Don't go, please don't go, Daddy." She sobbed, words spilling, broken but real. Madeline froze. She had never heard her call anyone Daddy. Liam looked at her, startled, and understanding dawned in his eyes. Emma's real father had left before she turned 3. The night she stopped speaking was the night he walked out. Madeline fell to her knees beside them, tears mingling with rain. "She remembers," she whispered. "She remembers everything." Liam held Emma close. "It's okay," he said softly. "He's gone. But you're safe. You've got your mom. You've got friends. You've got me and Jack." Emma looked up at him through wet lashes and whispered again. "Promise." Liam smiled through the rain. "Promise." Chapter 6, Healing. After that day, everything changed. Emma began to speak, not all the time, not easily, but she spoke. Madeline started spending less time buried in contracts and more time at the bakery, helping Liam test new recipes. Jack started calling her Aunt Mattie. And one quiet evening, as the kids decorated cookies at the counter, Liam turned to her and said, "You know what's wild, I thought I'd be fixing my son's heart. Turns out, your daughter fixed mine." Madeline smiled, eyes glistening. "And maybe you fixed both of ours." He hesitated, then brushed a strand of hair from her face. "You did most of the work." "Not alone," she whispered. Outside, the city hummed. Inside, the little family built not by blood but by kindness and second chances finally felt whole. Epilogue, a year later. A spring morning. The park again, but different now. Laughter, sunlight, cinnamon rolls. Emma and Jack raced each other to the swings, shouting and giggling. Madeline sat beside Liam, watching. "Remember when she wouldn't even speak?" Liam murmured. Madeline nodded, eyes soft. "And you made her first word happen." Liam smiled. "Nah. She just needed to feel safe again. That's all anyone ever needs." Madeline reached for his hand. "And what about you?" He looked at her, truly looked, and said, "Found that too." The two of them sat there, surrounded by laughter, sunlight, and the simple grace of healing, proof that sometimes, the most powerful miracles begin with a single word. Message: love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes, it comes quietly in shared silence, a gentle smile, and a single word that changes everything.